Today is all about gel application. I start off with my prep to dehydrate my nail plates. This dries by air, and you can also get it on the cuticle and the skin, no problem. Then I move over to my bond, which acts like a sticky tape. You also don't want this product touching your skin or cuticle area because the other products will go there. Then I will push back my cuticle with my pusher to make sure I get the most tight application that can be. I take my base coat brush, because I have my base coat in a jar, and I will start applying my base coat all over the nail. Really do this with precision, because everywhere the base coat is not applied, your product will lift. Your base coat is what it is. It's the base for everything. So be careful when applying this. Make sure you get all of the little edges, little areas there is onto the nail plate, and make sure your whole nail is covered. I really prefer using this brush for this step, because this way I can make sure I get base coat all over the nail plate, and that way the attachment of the product will be flawless. If you spilled some, I use my wood stick. Just go buy the spilled product and take it away. Here is my gel. I have mixed this one myself with some flakes and glitters. I will do a video on the mixing because it's very fun to do. So I take a little bit of the product, as you can see, just a tiny bit to create my first layer. And I will apply this all over the surface. Be careful not to touch any skin or cuticle. And just rub it all over the nail plate. This layer we don't want to put in a lamp, because this will be our base for the next bead of product. And as you can see, I'm taking more product and I am applying it to the apex. Gently pushing it to the cuticle. As you can see, because we left the first layer wet, the product moves around very easily and it will just level out by itself. And I want to make sure I have an even application, taking it to the front a bit, and then I will put away my gel brush. I take my fine liner, this is a 9mm fine liner, and I start applying the product so that it's even. I'm not pushing my brush into the gel, I am softly touching it so that the product moves to the front with me. Now I want to put my hand upside down and let gravity do its work. When you turn it back, you just check the reflection in the lamp and correct where necessary. Often you have to use your fine liner to take a bit of the product up to the free edge. Then you can just put it in the lamp, let it harden, and we're doing the next nail. As you can see, it's another wet layer, a thin layer of product. Now I take more of my product and I will again put it on the apex of the nail. Softly moving it to the cuticle area, not actually touching it, just letting the gel flow there. And I will take it to the front again. I put away my brush, take my fine liner again, and start correcting and perfecting the surface. Again, upside down, letting gravity do its work. It's also a great thing to do if your product starts running everywhere or if you feel like you're losing control. Turn the nail upside down, leave it there, turn it back and correct it again. The product will go to the center of the nail and you can just with your fine liner move it back to the edges. I have hardened my products and as you can see, both nails are done. The reflection is almost perfect. So now we just have to remove the tacky layer that's on there, and I do this with a wipe and my cleanser. You can use 70% alcohol or the cleanser that comes with your brand, it's no problem as long as it removes the tacky layer. Don't use acetone, just go with the product that's meant for that. Here we are filing my free edge. I use a 180 grit file for this. And this is also why you don't want to take off too much of the length at start, because here we are shortening the nail. So I just go by the free edge, shaping the nail, shortening it a bit, making sure our shape is perfect. And I go over the top of it to really create that nice, smooth shape. Make sure that everything is nice and connected at the free edge. And then removing the dust. And for the next nail we'll do the same thing, the 180 grit file. At the sides, not going too far. You don't want to file besides the points where the nail grows into the skin. But you do really want to make sure that the shape is connected everywhere so that you don't have weird little edges or hooks there. So make sure both shapes are similar. Make sure the lengths are correct. And really be precise of what you're doing. Checking again. And filing our top. So you don't want to thinnen the top of the nail, you just really want to create that smooth surface and free edge. Now I will remove my dust. I use a bit of alcohol on my brush and I move it forward. You don't want to brush backwards because then the dust will get into the cuticle. Really make sure every bit of dust is gone. Check it. And then with my pusher I will push back my cuticle again. This is all for a top coat application. Here I'm applying my top coat. You don't want to use too much product because then it will start running, but you also don't want to have too little of product. You really want to be able to create that nice mirrored layer. Check the reflection in the lamp and apply more when necessary. Then I go to the next nail, again applying it all over the surface. You can, when you struggle with it, apply it one nail at a time or maybe 2 nails at a time or 4. But this is the finishing touch of your product, so be very precise of what you're doing. And I will level my top coat again to create that perfect finish, letting gravity do the work. And then when turning it back, I will check my reflection. And if it's all perfect, I put it in the lamp to harden. And as you can see, my reflection was very perfect. Now I will file my free edge one last time. I always do this after applying top coat to really get that shape. This really is just the finishing touch. You don't want to take off any of the length, just the shape. Take away the dust and here you have it. You have a gel application with a top coat, very natural, very smooth. And now for my final step, I like to use a spray on the fingers, especially. This gives moisture back to the cuticle and to the skin. It looks great on photos. You can also use micellar water if you like. I just dry my skin with a wipe. And then this is my final result and this is how it looks for photos and videos. It's very smooth skin, smooth nails and just overall, it's a great look for your Instagram or whatever you like. This was the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you again on the next one.